tickets though. That's right, this is a fundraiser. If you have not figured it out yet, we are looking for the support of the community to change the way we are fueling our future, if all of you know what I mean. The oil reserves are being depleted, the wars are happening, and we need to put different things in our fuel systems. Diesels drive all over the country. They bring us this dress, these raffle tickets. Diesel is everywhere. So I want to reintroduce Joshua Tickell to tell you more about the Veggie Van organization and the journeys.
When I began this, we literally just wanted to see if it was possible. This is in late 1996. I had some friends and we said, well, what do you think about taking a trip across the United States on vegetable oil? Would that be possible? Would that be something that we could do? And the professors in our university said, absolutely not. That's crazy, it's ridiculous. But the Veggie Van did make it across the country. It made it to California. That was about 3,000 or 4,000 miles. It was supposed to be a one-month trip to see the Grand Canyon, to see Northern California, to see some things I'd always wanted to see, but it ended up being a 2-year trip, going 25,000 miles. And for me, that was proof positive that this could work. That was the first stage in my realization, just my individual personal realization. My God, biodiesel, I get it from a grease dumpster, I make it, I put it in my van, I drive. Where's the oil company in that equation? I come from Louisiana, I'm half Cajun. My mom's family is from the, yeah, at least one Cajun in the group. My mom's family grew up around oil refineries and we sold our land to the oil industry. So I've watched a good number of my elders die of cancer that was created by these oil refineries. So for me to make that first test tube of biodiesel in the lab, that was a liberating experience. It said something very true and very simple to me, and that is, we do not need to rely on the structure that has been built around us for our energy. A lot of people take that for granted. Hey, man, we've got power. It comes from who knows where. We've got fuel. It comes from who knows where. But the power and the fuel that we use comes from somewhere. More than 50% of our fuel comes from the Middle East. More than 50% of our power comes from coal. So we rely very heavily on these non-renewable resources to keep the structure of our society intact. Without those non-renewable resources, we can't function as we can't have stage lights, we can't have PowerPoint projectors. The Veggie Van was seen by over 22 million Americans in 2 years. Over 22 million. Phase 2 was interesting. I got home and I've got 1,000 emails in my inbox. All of them asking me the same question, all of them saying the same thing. And that is, how do we do this? How do we get involved? And there were emails that were very poignant. People from 3rd grade on up would say, if they knew oil was bad for the environment, how come they put it in our cars? 3rd graders writing to me saying this in 1997, 1998. And I'm thinking, God, you know, maybe it's not just about driving a van across the country on vegetable. Maybe there's something else going on here. Maybe people are really interested in energy independence, but they just don't have a way to connect with that information. And I looked, and even after the first 2 years of the trip, there was no information. There was no way to access it. There was no way to get into the biodiesel. The only way to really get this information out there is to write a book. So I spent a year writing the book, I spent a year editing the book, I put it together, I self-published it. It was a completely independent production. And I thought, okay, that's it. I've done my biodiesel thing. I'm going to go on and become a, economist or something. But that didn't stop. What started to happen at the end of that was I started getting more emails from other people in different parts of the world. I got emails from people like this guy named Tony Dreamer. Tony Dreamer lives on a small island in the South Pacific called Vanuatu. It's an island so small it takes you about 10 minutes to walk across it. He goes, I am Tony Dreamer, I'm writing from an island, I am very poor, please send me a book. So, there's some strange postal address. I put a book in an envelope and I sent it off to him. I said, well, best of luck to you, Tony. 6 months later, I get an email from the same guy who says, I have now run my biodiesel boats to another island where I can email you to tell you that I have converted 100% of the diesel on my island to biodiesel. So I received these emails from people like, let's go back one. From people like Adrian Lake in Australia. He goes, is this Joshua Tickell? I've got a plane ticket in the mail to you. Really hard to say no to that, you know? Fully expense paid. So we take these, I show up in Melbourne, and they've got these four-wheel drive vehicles with tanks strapped to the outside of their vehicles. And they've got this gang of like adventure hardcore warriors from God knows where. They're Australian, right? And they go, right, here's the plan. We're going to drive up the coast and we're going to talk to as many people as we can, and after that, we're going to have a biodiesel industry. I was like, right, whatever. We did, in 11 days, we did 22 media interviews. We went national 3 times and international once in 11 days. And we still went kite surfing, fishing, reefing, hiking, and skin diving. Today, Australia has 5 operational biodiesel plants. The government just passed a biodiesel standard. They have biodiesel at the pump in Melbourne, Canberra, and Sydney. I am from Poland. I wish that you send me a book because I am poor as well. I sent him a book, whatever, you know, I send books all over the world. 6 months later he goes, I just want to tell you some of the things we have done. First of all, here is a picture of me with my energy minister. We are running the car on biodiesel. Here we have run 170,000 kilometers on biodiesel. Now, you see this top picture? This guy's got cojones. How many people do you know stick biodiesel in their tank? All right, right there? So, and you know, Poland is now one of the world's largest manufacturers of biodiesel equipment. Biodiesel is based on something that does not run out. What is the ultimate source of agricultural energy? The sun. The sun. Does the sun run out? No. Not yet. Not yet. Not for another 5 billion years. Let's keep going. Everyone in here know that Rudolf Diesel designed the diesel engine to run on vegetable oil over 100 years ago? He was a French-German son of some fairly peasant-type people, and his vision was farmers could have an engine that would allow them access to energy and work from their own land without using oil and coal and tar. So he designed the diesel engine to run on vegetable oil over 100 years ago. The vegetable oil is on top and the glycerin settles to the bottom. Ideally, right? If you do it right. The process is very simple. It takes an hour. It involves mixing an alcohol and a catalyst, as you saw in the film. This is a typical biodiesel plant. It's just mostly stainless steel pipes. How many people knew planes could run on biodiesel? 3. Any turbine aircraft can run on biodiesel at 100%. This is a map of the United States. You kind of click on that little dot right there. This dot is where I live in New Orleans, Louisiana. I'm a purple dot. I am a biodiesel coordinator. Me too. Yes. The idea of this map and the resource database that goes along with it is everyone around the United States, and this will be followed with maps of other countries, can enter their information into a database. And when they enter their information, they choose what type of service they offer. Look at all these different things. Biodiesel vendor, biodiesel research, biodiesel pump. When you enter your information, you show up as a dot on the map. This is crucial because we have no way of connecting to one another as a movement unless we create some kind of a visual reference tool. If I want to drive from my home state to California, I need to know where the pumps are because they're not at your local Exxon station. This map is going to give people a way to connect with one another. Whether they're an experimenter, a pump, a distributor, a plant builder. The next phase of our work is a documentary film. The reason that we're making this documentary is because to get to that mainstream, to get biodiesel out there, to get it at pumps, to get it at places where you can access it, where it's part of what you know to be normal, we need to hit the people who feel that they are normal. The people who emailed me 6 years ago and said, I don't know about this granola crunching thing, but this biodiesel sounds all right. And it's time for us to access the American psyche in the same way that